Good morning, Dr. Lewis Singer, Singer Family Chiropractic here in Boynton Beach, where families go to be well. And it's another edition of Question for Doc. Thank you for being with us today. We are back from our summer vacation. So happy to be back. We missed all of our peeps, all of our patients, all of our practice members, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody back again this week. So great question comes from one of our practice members, Macy, and she said, how can I encourage a family member to get under care when they are essentially feeling fine? I don't know how to explain chiropractic as a means of prevention for so many conditions. Well, it is true that most people come to chiropractic with a particular problem, a problem that maybe they want to see if chiropractic will be able to help, a problem that, they don't necessarily want to go down the medical route with drugs and surgery. It's usually something what we call musculoskeletal, so things like, neck pain or back pain. So that's the way most people come to us. But you know what? A lot of times people have conditions that they don't even think that chiropractic would be able to help. And again, as I've said before, let me reiterate that chiropractic is not a cure for anything. It's not even a cure for low back pain. Chiropractic does one thing and one thing only. It analyzes and corrects a condition called the vertebral subluxation. That's where a vertebra is out of place, putting pressure on the nerves that exit the spine, preventing the messages from the brain to get to the body at 100%. The only way we can function at our best, the only way that we can heal is if everything up here is getting to all of these different parts. And through the chiropractic adjustment, bringing the spine back in alignment, it takes away the vertebral subluxation, it takes away the pinching of the nerve, and the messages can go through, and the body actually does the healing. Now, that being said, I know in our office, we've seen a ton of conditions get better because people were under chiropractic care. Things like asthma, like allergies, things like digestive issues, things like numbness and tingling in maybe one of the extremities and down the arm or down the leg, tons of things like headaches, cluster headaches, migraine headaches. There is literally nothing that the body cannot heal if the body is basically working at its best. So, somebody, a family member, for example, may not necessarily have, back pain or neck pain, but maybe they get migraine headaches, Maybe they're just so tired all the time. They just have such a lack of energy. They're having difficulty sleeping at night. It could be something like, I had a patient once, believe it or not, taste of food was off because of subluxation. And as I started adjusting this patient, she got her actually taste back. She says, food tastes better to me again. So you would really be surprised. So I don't like to pigeonhole chiropractic into just those things that we think of chiropractic for, like back pain and neck pain. So if anybody's having any problem, if they're not happy with any part of their life on a physical level, a mental level, an emotional level, and believe it or not, even a spiritual level, they should be seen chiropractically. I've learned in time, over the years, most people have something that they're not happy with, and that's a good place to anchor to. You may say, Uncle John, I know you suffer with headaches. Maybe you never thought about seeing a chiropractor for that, but you know what? It could be an indication that your body's not working well. The chiropractor gets your body working well, may be able to help you get rid of those headaches. Give it a shot. And then last but not least, that person that just doesn't have anything wrong with them, that's a little bit of a tough sell if they're fine in every aspect of their life. And, I've had patients say to me, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? We've all heard that expression. And the analogy I like to give is about oil change. I say to that particular patient or prospective patient, like, do you get your oil changed? Oh yeah, I get my oil changed. Well, why do you do that if the car is running okay? Well, because if I don't get my oil change, eventually it's going to break down. And that's the way we see preventative chiropractic. It's to keep you at your best so you don't have to have problems that may come up in the future. A lot of spinal problems, we've been talking about posture over the last month, a lot of spinal problems run in families. A lot of posture problems run in families. So a lot of times people, what they hone into is they say, I saw my parents or my grandparents as they get older. I saw how things started to break down on them. I saw how their posture started to change, and I don't want to be like that. I want to do things now so I can prevent myself from being a hunched over little old man, a little old lady as they get older. So sometimes that's a good way of anchoring chiropractic is, with chiropractic, it's going to keep your posture good, because remember we talked about posture is the window to the spine. It's going to keep you not only feeling better, but it's going to keep your body working better, so you're able to do all these things as you get older. You're able to play golf, you're able to drive, you're able to get together with your friends, you're able to do all of those things. So that's a good way to anchor prevention, okay, especially when we look at what's happening with their family members or past family members, and I don't want to be like that anymore. And that's a great question, Macy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, if you have a question, you can either see Allison, Carol, or myself when you come into the office. If you would like to email us, if you're not necessarily a practice member, you are a practice member, but you want to type it out, you can email me directly at my personal email, Chirosong, CHIROSONG, @AOL.com. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. This is another edition of Question for Doc. I'm Dr. Lewis Singer, Singer Family Chiropractic in Boynton Beach, Florida, where families go to be well. Have an amazing week. See you next Monday. God bless.